Um, the media is going to go into Gaza for the first time. I didn't include this element in our notes, but it's up on my Twitter feed. But Yediot Aharonot, Ynet, the Israeli tabloid, published a piece reporting that the Israeli military is meeting about what to do about the international media going into Gaza. And they're actually concerned about the level of destruction. And so they're going to pass out informational materials to the media and take them on tours with influencers and so-called experts. And we can imagine who those will be. To blame the destruction firmly on Hamas and to tell them, well, here was a tunnel and here was a terrorist family, and this is why we had to destroy. And this is the children you see being extracted from the rubble who couldn't be reached for months. Well, those are Hamas children. So this is another coming phase of the Israeli information war. And do you remember the day after Trump's Peace 2025 initiative, when all the Zionist influencers, it felt like they were instructed to mock everyone who was still horrified by what was taking place and say, why are you still horrified? Trump just made peace. There's peace. The occupation's over. What, guys, just go home.
Trump's press secretary, Levitt, she said that Trump freed Palestine.
Right.
She said Trump freed Palestine.
Palestine's free. Yeah. They freed 65,000 people, according to United Nations, from being alive.
And that's a vast undercount, of course. You know, that's the official toll, but the actual toll is, of course, far, far higher. How many people who've been liberated from life by Israel and the U.S. are still buried under the rubble? We don't even know. So that's a vast undercut. But here's the article you talked about. Israel is preparing a coordinated media strategy ahead of global journalists' arrival in Gaza, including IDF escorted tours and visual evidence to show how Hamas built terror infrastructure within civilian areas and used residents as shields. By the way, I wonder on this talking point about like tunnels and stuff. First of all, a lot of those tunnels were built by Israel a while ago, right? Remember, like Ehud Barak talked about, yeah, we know where some of these tunnels are because we built them, including the tunnel that was near Al-Shifa Hospital. So I wonder even about this whole thing about the tunnels and this like 500 miles of tunnels. That to me strikes me as like a lot of Hasbara as well.
Okay, well, they're resistance tunnels. Yeah. And whenever you hear the Hasbara brigade ask, why doesn't Hamas build bomb shelters instead of tunnels? Like, what do you think the tunnels are? I mean, who goes into the bomb shelters in Israel that actually are effective? It's Netanyahu and his Fortress of Zion. He goes into a luxury tunnel in Hakiria. Bedouins, non-Jews in the Negev, they don't get any bomb shelters. The bomb shelters that are built in Israel, that's a function of Israel being a Western-backed colony. But they're building tunnels to turn siege into strategy. Does it justify blowing up entire apartment blocks? No, I mean, there's just no justification that Israel is going to cook up that's going to work at this point. And the question is, how much will does international media have to show the reality that we all know to be true, which is that there are still thousands and thousands of people buried under the rubble and stories we haven't heard yet from the Holocaust survivors.
Yeah, and also Gaza was under total Israeli siege for 2 decades. You think that if Hamas was building massive bomb shelters, Israel would have let in the material needed? Israel was blocking everything from coming in.
They were blocking concrete for sure.
Concrete. So you think if ever Hamas tried to build a bomb shelter to protect people from regular Israeli bombardments, that Israel would have, oh, sure, yeah. After blocking everything one could possibly need to build an actual bomb shelter, it's just such a joke.
It's over. I mean, the PR war is over. They've lost that one. That's one of the outcomes, the most decisive outcomes, and it's never coming back. There's nothing Israel can do. There's nothing Israel can do also because of the nature of Israeli society and who they see as their allies. They see Stephen Yaxley Lenin as their ally, Tommy Robinson, anti-Muslim hooligan who came out of the fascist gangs in the UK that used to actually be anti-Semitic, and then Israel pumps a ton of money into creating the English Defense League, the EDL. Tommy Robinson emerges as one of the leaders, waving Israeli flags, menacing Muslims, and they decide he's such an ally that the Ministry of Diaspora Affairs brings him on a Hasbara tour. That's Israel today. Those are their allies. There's never going to be a Hasbara tour featuring figures who are respected in the progressive left, or even any respected figures from the center to the left in the West ever again. Israel's just so far gone, and the PR war has been completely lost. All they have left is some ability to bomb their way out of the inevitable.
There's a quote attributed to David Ben-Gurion, the founding prime minister of Israel. And I'm not sure if he actually said it, but it's attributed to him. The old will die, the young will forget. And that's, I think, to the extent Israel cares or thinks anymore about global opinion, I think that's what they're counting on. People are going to move on, they'll forget. But younger generations, raised on seeing, who came to political awareness, seeing shredded babies in Gaza every single day on their social media feeds before, TikTok was stolen and handed over to Zionist billionaires. They're not going to forget that. And people are not going to forget what Israel is. And the face Israel projects to the public of this self-victimizing, chauvinist, supremacist state. I mean, people are just not going to forget that, because you can't, Israel can't help but let you see it, because that's just who they are, and they can't hide it, no matter how much they try to whitewash themselves.